Hey everybody, it's Sarah. How are you doing? It's March 25th and we are having a beautiful weather day. It's amazing out. But I wanted to share something with you. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but it's been exactly a year, I think, since I did one of my first sort of what's COVID gonna do with mortgages? How are we gonna deal with our mortgage during COVID videos? And a year ago, my big message was, call your lender, they will work with you, but keep track of when you call, keep track of who you talk to, and keep track of what they tell you. And then do your best to pay your mortgage if you can, and if you can't, get into a forbearance and make sure you pay attention to the parameters of that forbearance, how long it lasts and what you still need to do even if you're in a forbearance, and what your options might be when you come out of forbearance. So I had a client in today and I want to share with you what I've learned through helping her with regard to mortgage forbearances. So her situation is the following. She called about a year ago, well, in April of last year, to ask what her options were. She was looking at losing hours at her job and she wanted to find out what her options would be about paying her mortgage. So at the time, she was having a really hard time communicating with the representative she got through to. She didn't really follow through with giving them any documentation of her income or anything like that, and she just let it go. And she was able to make her mortgage payment from April through the October payment last year. Her servicer is Rushmore Loan Management. Okay, this is a company that the owner of the loan has hired to service their mortgage, to service the mortgage for them. And you all probably have a mortgage servicer. It's probably not the same company that owns your mortgage. So if you have a Wells Fargo mortgage, maybe you pay Wells Fargo, maybe you pay another company like Rushmore to service your mortgage. So she ended up paying her mortgage to Rushmore all last year. She couldn't pay after the October payment. So I helped her by calling up Rushmore and submitting some paperwork. And they sent her a letter in December that said, congratulations, you've been given a forbearance. Your forbearance is from April 2020 to April 2021, or the end of March of 2021. And I was very frustrated by this because she paid her payments all through the last year, up through October. So I didn't want her forbearance to start back in April. That means she would have lost like 6 or 7 months of forbearance. So today she came in and we called Rushmore, and I said, hey, she made her payments. Why are you saying that she started on her forbearance last April when she was making her payments? Now, anybody who's in forbearance can continue to make a payment of any kind, and the bank will credit it toward your payments. In her case, they put her, it turns out, the first rep we talked to was just not nice. So we called back a few minutes later. We got a different person who was much more forthcoming with information, which was good. So the second rep told us that basically Rushmore was putting everybody into forbearances last April, whether they asked for it or not. And they were putting them in 12-month forbearances. And I said, okay, I guess that's good. And the fact that she continued to make her full monthly payments for 7 more months only helped her because now she's not that far behind. And what he said was, I said, well, what if she had called for the first time in November? What if she didn't ever call in April? What if the first time she called for help was November? What would you have offered her? Would you have offered her 12 months starting in November? And he said, no, we only would have offered 90 days at a time. So right now, her 1-year forbearance, which is kind of a unicorn, it sounds like. It sounds like they only gave 1-year forbearances for a very short period of time. That's coming to an end, but they said she could apply for a 90-day extension. So I'm encouraging her, we're gonna apply for a 90-day extension. So if you still are not back to work, if you're still not able to make your regular monthly mortgage payment, go ahead and get on forbearance if you're not already. Or ask for extensions to the degree that they're offered. Now, if you have a Fannie Mae, a Freddie Mac, or an FHA mortgage, and this client's mortgage was none of those, there are specific parameters. You're supposed to have gotten 6 months to start, then either an additional 6 months or an additional 90 days if you asked for it. So go ahead and keep asking for extensions of forbearance if you need them, all right? What I learned with helping her is that, and I asked this question specifically, is every time she missed a mortgage payment, she wasn't making the payment, the portion of the payment that goes to her taxes and insurance. That's called your escrow portion of your payment. And so I asked specifically, what's the escrow bill? What's the bill just for the escrow? And out of the $5,200 or the $6,600 she's behind on all of her payments, $2,600 is just the taxes and insurance portion. So I said to the rep, if she wants to make any payment at all, can she direct that it be credited on that amount? And he said, yes, but I'd be very careful if you did this to make sure that they understand that's what you're asking for. So then he said, when she's done with her forbearance, when her forbearance is over at the end of June, she could go back to making her regular mortgage payment. And I said, what about the escrow? And he said, that amount has to be paid. So we did some math. We calculated that 3 more months of escrow is going to put her at, say, $4,000 that she will owe just for the taxes and insurance payments, plus her $1,200 monthly payment. So she's going to need $5,200 to get back on track. So if this helps you at all, that's how to do the math. Look at what the escrow portion of your missed payments was, and your lender may require that you make those up, make that part up. Now, usually it's a small part. It's less than half of your mortgage payment, so that helps. And in her case, Rushmore, being very specific with her specific investor, owner of her loan, this representative told us they are very likely just going to tack the missed mortgage payments on the end of her loan, and she'll be able to get back on track and make her monthly mortgage payment. But she's going to have to make that escrow payment. He said they will not put the escrow payment on the end. Okay, so lesson to us all, if you're behind on your payments and you were not already behind before COVID, right? If you're only behind because of COVID and you've missed any payments at all, keep an eye on what the escrow portion is and make sure that amount is, you're able to make that up. So start saving for that. And then if you can continue to make your regular mortgage payment, they very likely will let you make that mortgage payment and maybe tack your missed payments, not including the escrows, on the end of the loan. All right. Any more questions, give me a call. I can work through your situation with you. We can call your lender. If you're having problems coming out of a forbearance, if you think your bank or your servicer is giving you a total runaround, let me know. I haven't been getting as many calls as I thought, so maybe the banks are doing it right, but I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case across the board or going forward. All right. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this beautiful weather. I'll talk to you soon.